No, man, I do not want to stop it. I want to continue it. Sorry, I'm little late. I don't think anyone is gonna watch it, but still, I have to be no, proficient man. Here at least. I do not want to stop it. Okay, so welcome to the jungle. Sorry, I'm little late. Okay, so welcome to the high entropy. If you're watching for the first time, then thank you so much for clicking. And so let me introduce about myself. So myself, I mean I don't need any kind of introduction. I'm pretty famous. You can search me on Google. Jokes apart, guys, and that's not necessary to give introduction about me, but you can recognize my face if you know. Otherwise, it's not needed. Most important thing is what I'm going to deliver. So I'm on a mission to solve DSA problems, and it's day 42, and I'm pretty consistent. I'm showing up every day. I'm solving at least one problem every day. Anyhow, and that's good thing that I did in my like. I think it's first time I'm pretty consistent for 42 days and solving DSA. And that's why if you see if you see the take you forward dashboard, so it's showing 42 days you completed. And so cheers to me and cheers to anyone if anyone followed here with me. Thank you so much. And now without wasting time, okay, so I just wanted to highlight one thing. So I recently started um, if you know like recently I started DP problem solving like a jumped to dynamic programming because third topic if you see DSA playlist it is dynamic programming. So it's not like it's completely new, but I forgot, man. There is a tabular method and there's I always remember the memoization because I learned it so far and it's deeply rooted into my brain. Like whenever you want to optimize something, if there are two choices for example, and if you are repeating the same thing more than once, then you can optimize it and you don't need to calculate it again. And actually there is a quote for it, like if you can't remember something then there are high chances you will repeat it. And that happens with me in my real life experiences. I can tell you, sometimes I watch movies and I forget them, and because of that I'm again rewatching those movies and I'm feeling okay, it's a new movie, but after some time when I'm realizing okay story is something like I already watched in the past, then I'm stopping it. Okay, I think so that happens. So it happens to everyone. So that's where like if you talk about we talk about the consistency that matters a lot. So if you are doing something consistently, you will like progress. Otherwise if you are doing something like for you read an art, maybe you started speaking English for 5 days and after that okay you are feeling like it's not my type of, I like to talk and that's why I'm talking, man, first, and after that I'll jump into problem solving is not big thing. You can learn it, but speaking is very important, so speak more. And only the problem that I feel like that is biggest challenge for me, I still not able to connect with people. And let me know if you have any solution for it, though I'm pushing it. Like today I was going to office. At that time a person was sitting next to me and he was going somewhere. I just asked hello, so he didn't recognize, or maybe he didn't listen what I said. So he said what? Then I said okay, where are you going? Because but I after that I realized why I asked someone randomly like where are you going, and but he was a gentleman and he said "Yeah, I'm going here." So that's why like I'm feeling still it's a kind of in progress. I'm not saying like I'm not working on it. I'm working on it and pretty sure like after a while I'll be more confident and I'll talk to more people and I'll, so confidence is not that you will get by birth. You have to earn it. And first thing is I'm showing up every day. Am I coming and speaking in front of camera? That's it. Could be now it feels simple for me, but for you or for others might be challenging still. So talk a lot and do whatever you like to do because it's one life, and do and live it your fullest, live it at fullest, because you are not going to get, for example, the moment when I'm recording, maybe after once I'll grew older and I'll become like I'll be laying down on a bed, maybe I do not have something, then I'll watch okay I did something, at least I did something, instead of just avoiding, okay, I won't be able to do, I'm shy person, or I'll say something. Instead of excuses, just do your best. And I still am in the phase. I'm not saying like I'm perfect or I'm doing great or something. I'm making so many mistakes. Maybe once I'll become something great, then I'll notice them. Are irrespective whether we are going to become great or not. But our goal is like we don't know. Like result is not in control of us, right? We can only do the our best, and that's what we need to do always. You have to like your goal is if you know Krishna, what Krishna said to Arjun, you can like karma is in your hand, but result of it is not in your hand. So why are you worrying about result? Just focus on karma, and karma is whatever you are doing. Okay, so your job is do your best, and after that leave it to God or maybe whomever you believe energy superpower. I'm not believing it to anyone, so just say like whatever I'm doing, I'll get in return something. For example, I'm learning DSA, so I'll get it in return something. Now, if suppose I'm not getting a good great job, then also I'll learn something and I can maybe I'll become YouTuber or maybe I'll become something. But at least you have some opportunity. If you are learning, it won't be waste. For example, I'm reading now this book Alchemist, The Alchemist, and I ordered 8 new books, and I like to read books, and it wasn't in my habit. Like I never read any book so far. I mean, other than syllabus and all, but only maybe 1 month and back, like when I thought like, okay, now I need to improve spoken English, and for that, before it, like it was pretty difficult for me, and I never thought like, okay, I'll start creating videos on English. Yet I never thought about it. Simply, I'm going with flow. I'm just taking things, and I'm thinking like, okay, I'll continue in English only because it's not about uh, whether you are getting more audience or not. It's more about like what progress, not progress, what progress you are making. And it's also the thing that is boosting my confidence, like when I'm creating videos. And so it's also kind of thing that I like to do, and because of it, I'll say I'm learning DSA and continuing every day. Otherwise I can say so many excuses like, okay, I'm working on it, I do not have time, let's ignore it, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I never was able to I never been so consistent like I'll have to stream it every day. But because of YouTube, I'll say maybe I got one motivational thing that I'll create videos. And because of even you notice like when I'm not streaming it, and if I'm trying to solve problem, I become blank. I think like why I'm solving it. But when I'm like in front of camera, I always used to become passionate. I like to solve more problems, and I'm more focused on problem because I see sometimes like I feel like, okay, now let me stop, and it's not working. But sometimes you get a motivation, so that's where it's like life is going your risk. Sometimes you will see bumps, sometimes you will see low. So it's always happens. I think I am very talkative person, at least to the for the like once I'll become comfortable with people, I get very talkative. And it's like I like to blabber, or I like to blabbing a lot. Yeah, I think blabbing only, right? Let me search it, man. I'm very confused about words and word selection. Blabbing. Oh, man. It's like often in a way that is foolish, rambling. So I'm what kind of version? I'm saying like I'm foolish. Okay, it's okay. Let's jump to third problem. And today, okay, so I just finished a few videos of Aditya Verma. So when I was in office, I completed my task, and after that, I was watching at 2x speed because I already watched in the past, so it was easy for me to go through there. So I think now I'll be like, if you see the climbing stairs and frog jump, these are all kind of you can say knapsack problems, pattern of knapsack. Let's jump to the third problem and let's solve it. Just be consistent. If you are yeah, if you are starting, you are in college maybe, or wherever you are. It's like started some call. I don't know what kind of call it is. So maximum sum of non-adjacent element. Okay, let's see. First, yesterday I got disturbed because uh, I haven't read the problem properly and I was trying to solve it, and that time I felt bad. So today I will follow two things. First, I'll read problem until I'll get it. Second, this time I'm gonna do. I'll run it fully. I'll draw it and I'll do it completely instead of just avoiding, because I don't want to be lazy person. Okay, so I felt like I'm more curious to solve it instead of just learning it, and learning is very important. So I'm here to learn, not to just solve the problems, because anyone can solve it. Even you can ask ChatGPT, it will solve it and you will become happy. But what's the purpose of it? We are here to learn, right? So given an integer array, nums of size n, return the maximum sum possible. Maximum sum possible. Okay, 1 minute, I'll read it again. Given an integer array nums of size n, okay, return the maximum sum possible using the elements of non-adjacent element. Some possible sum using the elements of nums such that no two adjacent elements are taken in nums. Okay, pretty interesting problem. So you can say you cannot take, if you are taking something, then you cannot take jump, you can not take the adjacent element. Got it, little bit. I got it completely, but from recursion point of view I see like I get it a little bit. So I just wanted to say it, like wherever you are. So you have, if you remember last time I solved a problem where they were given like a k plus 1 2 range, but here if you see, like you can't go to the next number, like wherever you are. So from that point, uh, if you are taking another step, or you are just taking it, assume it as a step, okay, wherever you are going, or you have to pick an element. So you can't pick like a, for example, you are at ith location, so you cannot go to I plus 1, or you don't need to pick I plus 1. But other than that, you can pick an element, so I plus 1, I plus 2, I plus 3, I plus n. So for each element you can say, if you are at ith element index, just verbally first talking, then you can go I to n minus I mean I to, you can say I plus 2 to n minus 1, all possible elements you can walk through. First, today I'll try two options. I don't know, man. The problem is I'm starting the time at the time when it's about to go for a dinner. Always. Let me note down the example 1, 2, 4, and another one is 2 and 4, 9. Okay, great. And let's jump to the, oh man, 1 minute. I haven't opened yet QuickTime Player, so you can see it. Full screen. Yeah. So we have two examples. Let's see. Let's start with first example. So we have the number, right? So what you'll do? Okay. And you know, it's like for each element you have two options. Either you select or not select. Right? And you need to find out maximum sum. So either you will consider it or not. So you will consider it or not consider. Consider, not consider, consider, not consider. So let us start with 0. We'll go with 0, first index. You are at 0. Now you have two options. You considered it. So what you'll do? If not considered, then I'll keeping the second branch. Right one is, I was about to say right wali, left wali. Sorry. So you are at 0. Let me allocate the indices for him. So you are at 0 and now you wanted to go. So you just selected. Okay, 0 you selected. So I know where you can go from 0. If you are at 0 and you chose this option, then you can't go to 2, so you can go to 4. So you have two options, like, okay, from here you can choose this one, but second one won't work, and after that, like, you have only two remaining, so you'll go to 2. Okay, you can't go to 1, so I'll say like this. And from 0 you haven't took it, so now you have, uh, how to say it. Okay, so now you will say, okay, now you are not considering 0, then you will go to 1. Next one, neighbor 1, you can go to that location, right? So you will say 1. This is. And now from 1 you will decide, okay, what are the options. You again say, like, okay, I am at 1. Now I have two options. I'll go to this or not. So you can say, like, okay, if I'm at this, I'm considering or not considering. If you will not consider, then you will go to 4 directly. And if you are considering, then you will go to what? Then also you have to check another, and there aren't any options. So there are how many options, like, so if you are going 0, then you will go to 2. So 0 plus 2, what is 0 plus 2? That means 4, 1, 5. So you will say, like, okay, this one is 5, and this one simply you are discarding this, so it won't be there. And now here the second branch you are saying, okay, 1, I will be at 1. And now you will say, okay, can I go to this? No. Can I go to this? If you are not considering this, then you will go to this. Okay, so what is the options? So first thing is, if you whatever you are getting from left, that means you have considered it, right? Or you are getting from right directly, you haven't considered anything. So whatever you are getting from this, and you will take max and you will return it to this, because it's not going to consider. So you will say 4. What is 4 at 4? No, not 4. I mean 2. So you will say 4. I got 4. So it will return 4. And from left, 1. You are at 1. And you haven't considered this. So you are just considering 1. So 1 means 2. So you will return 2. 2 and 4 differently, you will say 4. So total answer will be 5. 2149. Let's take 2149. This one will be easy. Not easy, basically we'll get more to know more about it. 0, 1, 2, 3. So first thing, let's start with 0. We are at 0, right? And what are the different options? First thing, if we are discarding 0, then simply, oh man, what happened? Okay, this is like you are not taking this. Okay, or let's say one option. I'm just thinking like a different way to teach or explain. So from 0, what are the different various options where you can reach? From 0 you can go 1, from 1 or 4, I mean 1 or 2 or 3. These are the options, right? What about the 1? Can we, if you are going to 1, that means you won't consider 0, right? You won't calculate 0. But for 2 and 3, you can consider them. And same happening with 2. If you are at 1, then again you have options. You can go 2 and you can go 3. and from 2 you can go 3 only, right? And from 3 you can't go anywhere. Okay, so these are the different options. 0 to you can go 1 2 3, 1 to 2 3, 1 to 1 minute, 1 to 2 3, and 2 to 3 only. If you are at 2 you can go 3 only, and if you are at 3 you can't go anywhere. Now let's see what are the possible options. Like if you are taking this one, simply that means you don't need to consider this one, right? What are adjacent? So we will say adjacent, mark it like adjacent. For it 1 2 is adjacent, and for 1 3 is okay, for 2 3 is adjacent. I'm just marking them. Okay, adjacent one. So if it is adjacent, that means you just give whatever you will getting from here, you will return it. If it is adjacent, for example, for 1, if you are moving to 2, simply it's adjacent one, right? 2 to 1 to, for 1 2 is adjacent, so definitely whatever the value you are getting from here, you won't consider this one as well as with value, as a value for it. Okay, so what are the different options? One is like you are considering this branch or just take the output of it. So we'll say okay, this is this and this is this. So what will be the options? Or maybe you can say, think of like, uh, I just wanted to explain it in a better way. So maybe you can say this is one path that you can take, this is one path you can take, and this is one path you can take, and this is one path you can take, and this is one path you can take. I hope you get it. Okay, so what I observed, there won't be any contiguous path. I mean, there will be only pair of two. Maybe, I mean, yeah. So is there any other pattern? What I'm thinking, like here you can return 2. For 2, it's like 4. 4 you will get it from here, and 3 and 4, 3 and 1, and 3 and 1 is 9 and 10. 10, it will be 10. So 10, and then you, what you will do, you are getting from both sides 4 and 10, you will take max 10, so you will return 10. So from this side you are getting 10, from this 3, and 3 you are getting from this one, and you are getting like this value. What the heck? Okay, so it will be calculated by 0 only. For 2 you will say okay, tell me the value that you are getting from it. So it will say okay, I'm getting for 3, what is value? 10. No, for 3 it's 9. So it will say okay, I'm getting 9, and what is the value that you are calculating? So it will say okay, I'm getting 9 from this, and 0 and 2, 0 and 2, 6. But still I'm thinking like, why do we need to go to 3? Unnecessary branch is this one, right? Let me think more, better approach. Still it's not like the way I'm drawing, it's not good. So if you are at 0, what are the different options that you can explore? You can say 2 3, you can go to 2, you can go to 3. And for 1 you will say okay, I'll go to 1 as well, but for 1 I'll just ask for result. Whatever it is getting, we'll just return it and we'll add it. Okay, for 2 3 it will say okay, I'm gonna add my output into it for 2 3, and now 2 and 3 will do the same. They will ask for the result and we'll do. I mean 2 will say okay, if I am the same similar to this 0, then what I'll do? For 2 it will say okay, I cannot go to the adjacent one, I'll just ask to return result. And for other options that I'm gonna explore, I will add more value, my value as well. Okay, so let's no, I need to discuss more about it. I mean how we are going to utilize it. So what we'll do, we are going to create a function, you know. I want to do it completely on paper first. So what are the different values that we are getting from as input? First thing is nums we are getting only. We have nums, and we will get first index, you can say, like I'm just tracking, let's say I, and also I don't want to calculate nums again and again, n value n, so I'll take a n. Now this is function, and what we'll do, at each step wherever, first let me think about the base condition. If you are at I equals to n minus 1, that means you cannot move to further steps. So what you'll do, you'll simply return the value that you have, nums of n minus I. Okay. Else what you will do, if you are at different location. Okay, I mean I need to pass memory as well, but we'll think more about memory, what, how to deal with it, how to deal with it. So for the time being, first let's focus on this. So if we have when we'll hit the base condition, when we don't have any further elements to explore. For example, if you are at this location, someone shared you this number. So what are the options? Simply you will say okay, 1 minute. So you'll say okay, this is the number, so I'll return the whatever the value that is my, like for example, just think smallest input, or smallest input, there is only one number, then you don't need to explore anything, you have only one number, you will say okay, this is the result that you can get. That's why I'm returning this. If I equals to n minus 1, I mean the last element that you are getting. Or also you can do other vice versa, like I equals to 0, that means only one element. I'm just going with the flow. Else if you have more than one element, then what you will do, so you will say okay, I'll do the two things. For I equals to, now let's take k. So what we'll do is split. I mean split into two blocks. First is you will call I plus 1, and this is the adjacent, right? So whatever result you will get, you will compare that. So you will say like result, ADZ result, let's say result is equals to, first we'll calculate this, or which one is good, shall we calculate? No, I don't think it will be optimized option. So what we'll do, first we'll calculate another one. For I k equals to k in range, let's say, and if you suppose you are at I, then I plus 1, I plus 2 up to n, right? N minus 1 to be precise. So okay, so this is adjacent one, so I plus 2, so you will say I plus 2 in range n. And basically if you are taking in Python, then it will be like, it will count till n minus 1 only, so that's why it's okay. And if you are taking n, then it's considering range will be up to n minus 1, always remember. Okay, so this, now we need to call this function fun, and what we'll do, result, let's take result is nothing but int max, that is float of minus I, no, plus inf. So result will be, you will say okay, now I need to pass I plus Oh, no, 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 we don't need to pass I plus, just we are taking I plus 2. So k and n and mem, so these are the things. And sorry, my bad, nums. So these are the things that will go get. And you will say result is equals to min of, no, max of result and this one. Okay, so this is one. And after that, you still you have one remaining thing, that is I plus 1. And what I'm thinking, suppose you called result equals to, like, it's out of loop, this is part of loop, will be like something fun of nums k, k, no, not k, I plus 1 and n m m. And you say like result is nothing but mean of, not, why I'm doing mean, max of, and you will say this, whatever you got, result and this. And one thing, I noticed one thing here, I equals to n. Suppose I plus 1 is overflowing and you are at I and you don't have any number. Here you are just taking range, but here you are not taking. So let's take, if I greater than n, simply return 0, or equals to n, even return 0. So okay, so now we got this. But what if we have memory? If mem of I we already calculated, then return directly greater than equals to 0, return mem of I know this one will come at earlier, it should be part of somewhere else here. Oh my god, I kept it above the function, and now I need to keep this as well. I Man, I think you can understand it. My gibberish language. Okay, and after that, what else is pending? Just we need to okay. What the heck? If like we need to store them in memory, then only we can use, will be id. What have we kept? So I equals to result. Thank you. I mean, I need to solve it on paper. Oh man, what's time? Okay, let me do one thing. First, I'll try to solve it in regular memorization technique, recursion technique. I know some people say like true DP is like when you are using bottom up top down approach, tabular method, and only the drawback of using this technique is it might like here we are using extra memory for calling recursion again and again, so stack overflow you might get sometimes. But what I like when I was watching Aditya Verma's video, then I noticed he was mentioning not see he was, I'm just about to change the gender of people about. So he was telling, okay, jokes apart, he was telling like uh, most of the time it will solve all the problems. Somewhere might you get overflow, rarely, once in a blue moon. Okay, jokes apart. So let's say mem will be nothing but -1 and in for I, not even we need in range n, and n will be nothing but len of n nums. Okay, I think I need to solve it quickly. And then what else? Return self dot solve, and here we are going to pass 0 nums and mem, and let's pass n as well. I think it will be great if we'll use 0 n and m's. God. Come on, G. I want to define the same thing. If I need to use I. If I equals to n minus 1, that means this is the last number, and you can say return nums of I. Okay. If I greater than n equals to n, return. Why I am saying this? You can say like this: greater than n minus 1, return 0, because those numbers you aren't expecting, so you'll get. Now solve for this. If mem of I greater than equals to 0, return what? That means solution exists. You already solved it in the past, so we can say mem of I simply. Else we need to do two things. First thing is possible options, then impossible options. First focus on positive aspect side. Okay, for I, not I, k in range, you can say, okay, how many elements are there? I plus 2, you know why, and n. And let's take result. Result is nothing but float of INF. Okay, so result is nothing but max O minus INF, otherwise it's going to hit, always it's going to give this one. Max of max of result, and we'll call self dot solve. You are just calling this function again, that is recursive step. And what you will say, okay, I need to go, I'm at the ith location, I can visit to I plus 2, I plus 3. If these are feasible, then only you will get into loop. Otherwise I plus 2, if it's like out of the bound greater than n, then you won't need to check. So you can say k and n nums mem. So these are the things. Okay, so whatever result you are going to get, then you will do one more thing. I forgot in the example, you have to add this. I need to do this. Mem of not mem, nums of I, because these are feasible options. So here you are nums of I, nums of k. No, nums of k you are already considering. So because that element, and from there you will calculate both of them, and then you will say, okay, for nums of I, this is the result. And similarly, now check for this one. Result will be nothing but max of result and nums of, no, now you don't need to consider it. So it's like if you'll say knapsack, then it's like you are considering element or not considering element. Simply, that's what. Solve k, not k, I plus 2. And this is point where you will see 0 also will come. You be useful if it's overflowing or greater than n or equals to n, even n nums and mem. I just wanted to consider what if am I missing something, that's where I'm using multiple things. Maybe we do not need to check for each element. So return result, and before that we need to store it. Mem of I is equals to result. I think I'll make some mistake, but let's see. I took a lot of time. I still think like my approach is not that enough efficient. Come on, man, why are you taking so much time to fail? 5 and 3, first example failed only. Woohoo! Great. My output is 0. You are, suppose, let's take 5. You'll start with 0. You are that 0. And 0 and is less than 2. I mean, length of it is 2. So less than I not equals to 1. I greater than n minus 1. No. Okay. Mem of I equals to greater than equals to 0. Then you will say, okay, no, it's not that. So you are at this location and you will say, okay, let me see if I can get the value from it. Okay, one thing I learned from here, that I'm making a mistake or what? You are at 0. So you don't have any path, but still you will consider it, right? Come on, man. You are doing nothing, nothing, nothing. You consider all possible options, and if you are not choosing that option, and you are also going to consider one more thing, that is result equals to max of result and nums of I. I'll tell you reason for it. What is this, bro? I made mistake or what? Suppose I'm at 3. Man, I don't want to go out for. I want to go out for food. Maybe I won't be able to go. No problem. First I'll solve the problem. Then only I'll go. You are at 3. What as per my logic, what I'll do, simply at 3. So yeah, this is 0. This is 1. At 0 you will say, okay, I need to go to adjacent more than adjacent one. So you will say, okay, let me go to 5. 5 will be one thing, and you will say, okay, another one will be I can go other steps. So you won't be able to go. So you will say, okay, let's consider the 5. And at the 5 you will say, okay, let me go to other steps if I can go. So now you won't be able to go. So you are at 5. So what you will say? 5 equals to n minus 1, only one step. Then that will, and you will return simply nums of I, right? And it will be, oh, I know what I made mistake. Here why I took I plus 2. It will be I plus 1. I think now I feel like I'm guessing or what, or I'm not solving it proper. I'm not solving it properly. I think I added later. That is the problem. Still, I hope now it's clear. Oh god, come on. TLE. My approach is very bad, dirty. Something is fishy. Let's hustle more. What I get then, simply. Will be like you are firing multiple. Okay. If we talk about this, I mean 3 and 5. Always you have two options. Either pick it or not pick it. Pick it or not pick it. Suppose you picked 3. Okay, let's think from another angle. You are at I. Now you said, okay, I'm at I forget about other things. So if I'll consider this element, then you will say, okay, now what I'll call. If I'm picking is this element, now if I'm not considering this element, then I simply say, okay, tell me your value, and I'll compare that with my value. But if I'm considering it, there are I mean there are a lot of options. Great. No, it's not. Logic is failing. So, hello, come on, man. approach is wrong. What? Actually, I'm just still thinking from that angle only. Okay, so what is if considering an element? Next one won't be participating, else it won't be participating. So why don't we do this 15216? 15216. Let's take example and let's try to try them. Suppose there are two things. I'll do like one thing. Let's consider this. So if we consider this, that means 5 won't participate in the array, and we'll say like okay, just give me the result for this, and that will be the thing. So we'll call this 2, and whatever the result that will come from this, we'll consider that, and plus we'll add. So 1 plus the result of 216, 1 plus 216. Okay, this is the case. And another one is consider 5. Okay, other one is will be simply 5 216. So if we'll talk about 216, now let's say first thing is you will say okay, let's consider 2, then it will be 1. Earlier we have 2, and now it will say like okay, let's take 2, and it will say it's 1 and 6 now, and here it will say let's consider 5, and then 2 and 6, and here it will be 6, like that. So maybe what I'm not maybe I mean just let me try out, man. First I'll sometimes when we are okay, what we'll do, simply we'll say the result. First thing is consider the first result and whatever we have, and we are considering this element, existing one. So you will say nums of I plus, and whatever the value that you are going to get, it will be like nums of I plus 2, and you will see. And the second will be you are not doing anything and you are saying okay, no problem, I'm not gonna consider nums of I, but give me the result for self dot solve I plus 1 n and nums and mem, and finally mems of I result. I think this is perfect approach. I think so. Yes, here I was repeating the same things in the question. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Oh man. Only the problem was I was trying multiple. No, why I'm deleting? So finally I can do. I did it without watching video. Now I have to think like, can I go out for food or what? Thank you so much. Bye bye. And keep practicing, keep hustling, and you will enjoy. When you will get something, you will be able to solve it without watching video. Still, I need to solve it top down approach, and I'll try it maybe after having dinner, because dinner is biggest problem for me. Like whether dhaba will be open or not. Sometimes it's pretty hectic. It's been quite few days. Like I'm just ordering from Zomato, and I want to go out, man. I don't like to stay in the room every day. Also, it's good. Like I will walk out. So thank you so much. Bye bye, and keep practicing, keep hustling, and maybe you can subscribe me if you want it. I don't like to say it. Because if I'll do something great, people will automatically subscribe. If not, then you will become turn into bigger. I don't want to become digital bigger. Create your value, and I'm focusing on that. So sorry if I'm asking. I'm not gonna ask. More important is like how to work on it. I've, I'm not able to articulate because you are learning also. I'm always considering myself as a learner. Never I'm considering something like I'm expert, and I'm not even. So it's very important. Like thank you so much. Bye bye. No more blabbing.